In this video, we will see polar return to zero scheme. One of the problems with energy encoding is that the sender and the receiver clocks are not synchronized, and hence the receiver does not know when one bit has ended and the next bit is starting. The polar return to zero, also abbreviated as RZ scheme, solves this problem by marking the middle of bit by a transition to zero. Polar RZ scheme uses three voltage levels: positive, negative, and zero. Bit 1 starts at positive level and bit 0 starts at negative level. In both cases, the signal level goes to 0 in middle of the bit and stays there until the start of the next bit. Let us look at an example. Consider the data 01001. Here, the first bit is 0, and so according to the rule, we start at negative level. When we reach the middle of the bit, we make a transition to 0 and stay there until the start of the next bit. Next bit is 1, so we start at positive level and go to 0 in the middle and stay there for the remaining bit duration. After that, we have bit 0, and so we start at negative and make a transition to 0 in the middle. We have bit 0 again, and so we start at negative and like before move to 0 in the middle of the bit duration. And finally, for bit 1, we start at positive and go to 0 in the middle. Now let's calculate R for this scheme. We know R is the ratio of data element by signal element. In unit time, one data element, that is one bit, is carried by two signal elements. Therefore, the value of R is half. Now, let's calculate the signal rate, which is C into N into 1 by R, where N is the data rate and C is the case factor. For average case, the value of C is half, and we have seen that the value of R is also half. Therefore, average signal rate for polar RC is N. Unlike polar NRZ, the polar scheme does not have DC component or baseline wandering problem. Moreover, it has self-synchronization property. However, since it requires two signal changes to encode one bit, the polar RZ scheme requires greater bandwidth. Change of polarity in the system affects polar RZ scheme in the same way as polar NRZL scheme. Furthermore, error detection is not done. Please share your feedback and suggestions in the comments below. Take care.